All right, welcome back to Grogu Gaga. I'm here as usual with Chip, my co-host, and then of course our guests today are Cam, who has been on the show, and today I also have my brother Grayson, who is joining us for the first time. Say hello, Grayson.
Hello, Grayson.
So he sounds like me, so we're gonna have to like make it clear that that it's me talking and him talking. But
Grayson has to do a Christopher Walken impression the whole time.
Y'all have to start each sentence with "This is Sean."
This is Sean. This is
Grayson.
Yeah.
Wait,
We'll
who said that?
Because you try to match me, and then it's like a lot lower.
It's like a lot lower.
All right.
All right. But anyway, so today's topic is the music of Star Wars, and then also the music of John Williams, and then maybe just some music in general. And we'll see what we're talking about here today. But I think we're just going to go through and talk about our favorite pieces of Star Wars music. I'm just going to go around and if you're listening, comment your favorite pieces of Star Wars music and John Williams music in general, because he is a genius. I mean, actually, he's done so many soundtracks, and he's just he never misses. I mean, Home Alone is actually one of my favorites, and you don't even think
really?
No, he did Home Alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, just like, and that's such a great soundtrack you don't even really think about. But we'll just go around and talk about some of our favorite pieces. I think I'll start with me. Because this is my show. No, this is our show.
I am the Grogu.
I am Grogu Gaga. And so I think you can't leave Duel of Fates off this list. All right. Does anybody have any qualms with that song?
No, it's at the top of my list.
Yeah,
Top three.
I mean, it has to be in the top 5. And it was just it was a shame that they didn't have that in Rise of Skywalker, because they advertised that in the trailer, and it was so great. But I've seen some fan edits where they add that in, and it's a lot better. But I also, other than Palpatine's theme, that's like the first with actual vocals. Does that sound right, Chip?
No, absolutely, because you get the Palpatine throne room music, which does have the Mongolian throat singing,
which is also like Snoke's theme too. But
it is. I mean,
but
it's almost like there's a parallel there.
Yeah,
like they were going for something.
You think retcon? But yeah, that's. I mean, I think everybody listening, if you don't know the titles of the songs, look them up. I don't think we can include it for copyright, but maybe we'll try. We'll see. No one's going to block us. Disney probably would, but
and if you put it on YouTube, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, if you put it on YouTube, they might just sometimes they just say like, this belongs to someone, you have to like pay, but we don't monetize anything yet, because this is sponsored by Tab.
Right, of course.
Chip is drinking. He found some Tab. Where'd you find it again?
Milledgeville Kroger. So there's a small town, it's a little college town northeast of Macon, where we're from, and they happen to have Tab, and I picked it up, and I'm enjoying it while it lasts.
What's the date on that tab?
2007.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, no, it's
fine. It's basically all chemicals anyway. It's all good.
He's one of 5 people who drinks Tab.
I'm the only one below the age 60.
Yeah. My mom always hated that. Still does. It's like Diet Coke, but worse. But he likes Diet Coke. Or maybe better, but that's not that bar.
I can't really describe it. I think it's just more chemically, which I don't. Maybe that I just like that.
You like aspartame, and
I do like aspartame, and it has a slight citrus hint to it.
I'd have to try it again. I'd not. We'll see. I don't know how desperately I want to try it. But hey, Chip, why don't you go and do you have any songs in mind that are just?
I don't think we can
tug at your heartstrings.
Right. I don't think we can go talking about Star Wars music without talking about the masterpiece that is Cantina Band. Honestly, I know it's kind of a joke, but I really do. I love Cantina Band. I'll play it sometimes. Like literally, I'll just have it on. Like in my car, and I'll just be bobbing my head to it. Like,
honestly, this whole list is, we're just going to list every single Star Wars song.
Basically,
and be like, yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
There's a meme. I don't know if y'all have seen it. It's on like all the Star Wars fan pages, but it's like the pregnant lady. Like you have a pregnant belly, and then it's attached like these like sound things, like these like ultrasound.
Oh yeah.
And there's a picture of it, and usually it's like Beethoven. It's like it's not even an iPod. I'm gonna say MP3 player. I think it's like a Zune.
That's remember Zunes? That's an old meme, sir, but it checks out.
I was just say Zunes, dude. Oh my god. But yeah, and it's a picture of Cantina Band on repeat, getting
Yeah.
played to the baby.
Yeah, that's a throwback meme right there. But
It is, man. I'm old, dude.
Yeah, well, we're getting on up there.
Even
Cam,
Grayson isn't. He's the
you
youngest
have
one
any,
here.
Yeah.
That's true. But he's getting old too.
I think we have to mention
I'm getting older too.
maybe the most recognizable, other than the theme itself, the Imperial March.
Yeah, gotta throw
oh.
that in there. That's so iconic.
And then I love that it makes its way into Anakin's theme for obvious reasons, and then
Yeah.
also a little bit more subtly into Kylo's theme.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent. Kylo's theme is almost like a reverse of the Imperial March. I've seen so many analyses of his music, and I feel like everything he does is intentional. I mean, he knew.
Of course. It's also more sinister to me. Kylo's theme is
Yeah.
the Imperial March is very bombastic and like
Yeah.
very like, oh yeah, this is the height of a regime, you know, like fanfare and everything. But then
Fun fact.
Kylo's theme is like, it sounds evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then at the end of Rise of Skywalker, they rework it. And it's like a very it's played with like strings and flutes, and it's just
That's nice.
a lot. I don't know. I
Go back
really
and-
like it.
Go back and listen to that part.
Yeah, it sounds like redemptive.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
triumphant.
And I don't even know how he does it because it's the same notes. It's just like the instrumentation is what makes it different, and then maybe the tempo. I'm not sure. I have to go back and listen to it, but
It's kind of like how Michael Giacchino reworked the Imperial March into a major key for Solo.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Michael Giacchino. That was Rogue One. Who did Solo?
oh, who did so?
It wasn't Michael Giacchino.
I don't know.
But anyway, whoever did it, they
Cam's
reworked
our
the...
researcher today.
Oh, yeah.
Michael
Pull that up,
McDonald.
Jamie.
Michael McDonald.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was kind of
It was
weird when I
cool,
heard that.
though.
I was like, that's
It sounds like trying to recruit people. You
Yeah.
know, you got that like a major key Imperial March. It was awesome.
And they have a lot of reworkings on YouTube of songs in the major key, move to minor key, and vice versa.
You sent me that one. Take me home, country roads.
Yeah, very dark and sinister.
I saw that too. It looks like it was John Powell that did
John
Solo.
Powell.
What else did
Is
he do? Cam?
Oh, let me see.
Let me go to the panel for this.
But anyway, I think that's an iconic one. Can't go wrong with that one. Grayson,
This is Grayson.
this is
Uh,
Grayson.
Personally, my favorite is Battle of the Heroes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's up there too.
That's
They're all up there.
I would say out of the sequels, the prequels. I'm sorry, that's my second favorite.
It's,
after Duel of the Fates, probably.
And I've got
Yeah.
a little bit of bias just because that fight and that whole scene is like essentially my favorite part of anything Star Wars related, period.
Mhm.
But I think the song just like resonates with the scene perfectly when it starts, right when they get to fighting. Like it's just chills every time.
Yeah, and we also made home movies when we were kids.
Yeah.
And by we, I
use that
mean me.
for everything.
Even things that weren't Star Wars but were Star Wars, like
Right.
we had a thing called Blue Inferno, which I don't even know.
No, please.
I know I don't know like how it wasn't Star Wars.
Oh,
but,
what did Vision say in the last episode of WandaVision? I require elaboration.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a meme today about somehow Palpatine returned, and then it had "I require elaboration."
I still gotta watch that.
Yeah. Oh, WandaVision. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess no spoilers, but
Oh yeah,
very good. Didn't have
yeah. That wasn't too bad. We didn't spoil. That was
didn't-
good.
It didn't
No,
have
I
any,
don't have any context,
No,
so I have no idea what.
We're good.
It didn't have any Luke Skywalker reveal. So I mean, like not literally Luke Skywalker, but
No, Luke came in
there was nothing like
with his green lightsaber.
Sebastian Stan came in
Sebastian Stan, Baby Yoda on his shoulder, and
as Bucky.
as Bucky, it was Bucky, but he had a lightsaber for some reason.
Yeah.
It was weird.
But yeah, I think Battle of the Heroes is one of my favorites, and yeah, we included the whole episode 3 soundtrack I had like on CD, and I ripped it to the computer, and so that's what I use in all of our home movies. So anything that even wasn't Star Wars, even besides that little Blue Inferno thing that we did, but that was, by the way, that was just basically Star Wars, and we renamed. I mean, nothing really.
It might actually be like a psychological reason why it's my favorite because I heard it all the
Yeah.
time. So like I
Yeah.
hear it and now I'm like nostalgia, happiness.
Plus, that movie is I've seen it so many times. I mean,
Really happiness from that song.
yeah, that's
Oh.
that's the only thing that brings me
The most
happiness.
tragic,
is Battle of the
scene in the
Heroes.
entire series. Okay.
Yeah. No, I yeah, that one definitely does because I mean that time when I was 13, I was 13 when it came out.
And actually, that song is really good. Like John Williams obviously is a genius, but that song, the way it develops from very slow from the horns, like it starts out with just horns, right? And then they get the chorus in it.
And strings.
And the strings. No, that's Duel of the Fates.
No.
That's Battle of the Heroes.
That's Battle of the Heroes.
Oh, that is?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, but no, that's not. Oh, that's Battle of the Heroes. No, I was singing. Is the opening track also Battle of the Heroes? Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Battle of the Heroes.
Okay, so it's just a reworking of it. And you want to try to?
But I think in the actual scene, I think it starts on not the way that the song starts. If I'm remembering
that's what
correctly.
I'm saying. Yeah, it starts a little different, but
Okay. Well, that sounds just like Duel of the Fates, though.
yeah. Well, we're not really putting our heart into it. Yeah,
I don't know if you've ever seen. Do y'all know Whitest Kids? You know the sketch people. There's one where it's like John Williams, how he creates music, and it's just one of the cast members, and he's just going bum 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 bum. He's doing that for like it's like a 5-minute video of him just like doing his chores in like his house. He's like bum 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 bum.
There's a good Family Guy sketch too where they do like they show John Williams scoring it, and then Danny Elfman, who does all the Tim Burton movies, and it's you gotta look that up. It's just so funny, the dichotomy. And then when because they show John Williams, and it's like okay, and then they go to Danny Elfman, and it's just a bunch of like
Boingo Boingo.
Yeah, it's very very unique. I like his music, but it's definitely
Danny
like,
Elfman. Well,
definitely a one.
He did the soundtrack to one of my favorite. This is totally
Hamilton.
He did
Nightmare
Danny
Before
Elfman.
Christmas, right?
Y'all might. He did do Nightmare Before Christmas,
Yeah.
which Grayson saw with me for the first time.
And then he sang for Jack Skellington.
He did.
He didn't.
And
play
he was
the
lead singer.
character,
Why I
but
said
he sang.
Oingo Boingo. He was the lead singer of the '80s band Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
Danny Elfman was.
Oh yeah, I did. Know
And
that.
but
I knew
what
that.
I was going to say, one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. He did Fable, and I don't know if
Oh,
y'all ever played
did he?
Fable. Yes, he did,
Wow.
and it's very Danny Elfman, but it's very good too. So. Very, so whimsical, impish and whimsical.
Back to John Powell real quick, if anyone cares.
I do, yeah.
He did a bunch of DreamWorks stuff. How to Train Your Dragon,
Shrek?
Rio, not Shrek. At least one of the Bourne movies.
Okay,
One of them? Which one?
And then Solo. Bourne Supremacy.
I
Okay,
wonder
one
how,
of the good ones. Okay,
I wonder how they
good.
got him to do that, but I mean, Solo's a good soundtrack. I mean,
I like Solo.
they
They have a lot of good callbacks, like a lot of good throwbacks into the general themes of the songs, which is good.
I mean, he's no John Williams, but
No.
nobody is.
Neither is Michael
Except for
Giacchino,
John
but I love
Williams.
Michael Giacchino's Rogue One soundtrack. I think he did a phenomenal job with that entire soundtrack.
I really like the scene or the music when Tarkin is looking at the Death Star.
Yes,
I love that music. I can't remember.
I
How
like
it goes.
I like Krennic's theme.
I can't remember how it goes, but I did like the soundtrack. I thought it was very good.
It's good. It's very Imperial Marchy, but more Krennic-y. Like it's more like a bureaucrat than it is a warlord.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
I thought you were just happy.
Hercules. I just watched it the other day with Paige.
Have you seen Coming to America too? That's totally random too, but I heard it
No,
was
I haven't.
Just god awful.
But I
heard it
also
was just-
haven't seen the first one. So
Wait.
is that blasphemy?
Yes.
Wait, which movie?
Coming to America.
Coming to America. with
Oh,
Eddie
yeah,
Murphy.
because they're making the new one,
They,
right?
It came out, and
He's-
apparently
Oh, it came out?
bad.
Oh,
Oh.
really?
They say, yeah.
Oh no.
You've never seen the barbershop scene? That's crazy. It's one of the funniest scenes of all time.
I have to look
so
it
that's
up.
one we're going to watch together. That's
Yeah.
about as crazy as Grayson never seeing Nightmare Before Christmas before.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch.
Now
of
he has though.
Yeah,
Now he has.
I hadn't seen Shawshank Redemption until recently.
Yeah.
So, because the whole family watched it, and I was like,
That's
I feel
okay.
like
I'm a
it.
huge Stephen King like stan. So
Yeah, I didn't think I would love it as much as I did, but I get why it's rated so highly.
it's great. Have you seen the sequel to The Shining?
Yeah, I liked it.
You did like it. It didn't do well in the box office, but I liked it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was gone very quickly. Did you watch that with us?
Yeah.
And the reason I say that
I didn't really-
because Obi-Wan's in it. You know, it does tie in.
Yeah, I mean, I love Ewan McGregor.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't hold a candle to The Shining because that's maybe my favorite horror movie, maybe even over Halloween.
And you love.
And I
You
love
love some John Carpenter, yeah.
Yeah, and I love Halloween. But I was watching for some reason I saw a Halloween post and
Speaking of movie soundtracks, holy crap! That Halloween's theme is one of the most iconic.
Yeah.
John
exactly.
Carpenter did.
He wrote that and
wrote that
directed
too.
it and produced it. He did everything on that movie. But I was watching some scenes from Halloween 2, and I actually, and it might be nostalgic, but I actually like that better than the first one. And the theme in there is so cool with the synth. It's like a reworking with the synth version. It's just, I don't know, really like it.
It's the 70s to 80s transition.
Exactly, yeah, because it was 78 and then 81 when that second one came out. But
Whoa,
Much
that's
like Star
interesting.
Wars.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah, I know.
Empire was what, 80, right?
80, yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah,
77 to 80, yeah.
yeah, I know it's kind of like blasphemy, but like got to be honest with myself, It's like I say, like Rise of Skywalker is, for me, a more enjoyable movie than A New Hope, but I don't think it's a better movie. A New Hope is a better movie, but at the same time, I enjoy watching Rise of Skywalker more. I don't know. That's just, so
it's more modern.
Yeah, it's modern, but like I like the action.
A New Hope actually holds up really well. It's for today's standards to be from 77.
Yeah,
but you're right. Like the sequels definitely have a more modern, kind of
whatever
I don't know. About them.
I just enjoy it, but like A New Hope is definitely a better movie. And then, but going from A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back is like, wow, that's such a like quality jump in my opinion. If you ask JJ, I think the only movie he likes is A New Hope, and I love JJ. I'm just giving him a hard time because it really seems like he loves A New Hope so much that like he wanted to do a shot-for-shot remake of it, almost,
so it's fine.
Yeah, but I also like The Force Awakens better than New We're too. So I know that's, but it is what it is.
I like the honesty.
Yeah, I mean,
no, the honesty is good.
Oh man, we're
in a little circle of trust here. It's fine. We can, and then we're just going to broadcast it.
And then be a circle of truth or trust, and then everybody's going to be like, "Oh, that's a terrible opinion."
You're awful, Sean.
Yeah.
Sean, we're unsubscribing.
You're a bad
we are unliking.
Your
Grogu
opinions
Gaga.
suck.
Yeah, I tell people that that's a bad opinion.
Going back on the Star Wars music though, I said Grogu Gaga. I mean, that's kind of the emphasis of our groups where it started. Mandalorian soundtrack is awesome.
Oh yeah,
dude. Like it is. I love spaghetti westerns. Morricone. I think that's
Ennio.
Ennio Morricone. Yeah, he did the most iconic like Western soundtracks, and I think the Mandalorian like emulates that so well, but also puts it into like a Star Wars like context, and it's so good.
By the way, guys, this is going to be probably our most erratic podcast yet.
Oh, absolutely. There's
just
4 of us.
Hopefully you'll join. Hopefully you'll follow along and enjoy it. But I wanted to go back to. We could also even talk about our favorite or controversial Star Wars opinions too. We can come back to that because I think we have. I think everybody has one, and then like you say that, and everybody's like, "Oh," but then somebody else has one. It's like. They like The Last Jedi as their favorite, and I'm like, no, you're wrong.
Well, there's so many different mediums like to consume Star Wars as a franchise that it's inevitable that you're going to have an opinion that's not.
Plus, it has
popular.
Something for everybody, and like some people like Rogue One and don't really like anything else, and then some people don't like Rogue One and they like everything else, and then some people just like The Mandalorian.
Sean just took a shot at me.
No, I didn't know. I enjoy Rogue One fine.
Some people like Solo. As hard as it is to believe.
Oh, great! Now Grayson's taking a shot at me. Okay.
No, I liked it better that second time for sure.
Oh yeah, we watched it
I
again.
liked Solo.
Solo's fun, just like as a standalone. I think, and who cares? Like
it's the last one my girlfriend has to watch.
I think people got so upset about Solo because they recasted Han. I think that was the whole deal, and like he did a great job. I believed him as Han. Like he was very believable as Han. I was like he didn't look like him, really. Like honestly.
No, he didn't copy Harrison Ford. He became Han Solo.
He was trying hard with that like little thing he was doing with his lips and his jaw.
Did he do that?
Like, trying to emulate.
You mean this?
Yeah. That was kind of bothering me.
No, I didn't even
Chewie.
notice that.
Oh, we're gonna have to come something call you Chewie. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, okay. Well, now you're trying to sound like Harrison Ford.
I think he did great, but I mean that's everything
also,
you say is controversial.
I do say that one scene where he was like trying to do Sherry Wook was a little much.
Yeah. That was kind of funny. I don't know.
It was kind of funny though.
Solo is a perftly enjoyable popcorn flick.
It's a popcorn flick. Oh, exactly. That's a good way to put
it.
it.
I do like popcorn.
I do. Consume a lot of popcorn. It's good for diabetics.
Is it?
It's because it's basically air.
Yeah.
That's
very, very few
No
carbs.
sugar.
It's good for everybody.
No sugar, a few carbs. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about sequel music because we haven't gotten there. And I love, sequel. I think the sequel trilogy kind of gets overshadowed musically because prequels and really the prequels are just so good. I mean, the original is a classic, but the prequels were just, I don't know, the music there just like was on point for everything.
Yeah, especially Revenge of the
Sith has got to be the best soundtrack. I don't think.
Anakin's Dark Deeds.
Yeah,
that's a great track. Oh. It's
so
like John Williams really knew what a payoff he needed for that movie, I think, and so he really put the emotional, put it into overdrive for the emotions. I think. For fans.
Even for like the love scenes,
They're
very good music.
Wait, there are love scenes.
well, there's only a couple in Revenge.
I was kind of speaking more of the prequels.
Attack
overall.
of the Clones. Yeah.
I remember when I was like in 5th grade seeing Anakin without a shirt on. I was like, yeah, ew. I don't want to see that.
And then Kylo did it. and then
Beefcake.
and then Beefcake, yeah.
They did that for no reason too.
That
was like totally just like
like
out
there's
of,
nothing wrong with him being shirtless, but like what was the
just
point?
out of nowhere.
Like,
Like I was like,
He was training.
It's like, oh, to show that he's awake in the middle of the night. Okay,
those are some Marine pecs I've ever seen.
Could you
on
put
them.
it
give him like some Sith pajamas like they did with Count Dooku.
Which is
Oh, yeah.
actually an unlockable costume in Battlefront 2.
I know.
Those are great though.
They are
but
good.
then Ben Solo's costume was literally just like a jump, like not a jumpsuit, but just like a
Red
a
jumpsuit
under
apparatus.
like just like pajamas also.
Yeah,
Like,
basically a t-shirt.
it's like a
but,
long sleeve
black.
T-shirt, and like that's an easy.
He was in his
costume to
he was in his
replicate.
90s.
Yeah.
Literally what she's sleeping. Like,
Yeah. Which it's kind of funny. I don't know. I liked it, but
He didn't have time to go shopping.
it's true. He just took off his robes, and then that was it. He's like, well, this is what I have.
time to be a comedian.
I like that. Well, I like the Han Solo shrug.
Shrug and
But yeah, Grayson, when
It
it
was
came
just-
out, he pointed out that it kind of was like Marshall on How I Met Your Mother. Isn't that what he said?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Yeah. There's like a blooper in How I Met Your Mother. Where,
By the way, he doesn't like How I Met Your Mother, so
really?
that's controversial.
Oh
opinion.
my
That is
god, do I not
controversial.
like
Well-
that show? Oh.
well, there's a scene or something. They have like a tuxedo night or something, and then but they don't invite him. It's just Ted and Barney, and so then when he's like, I wish just once someone would invite me to tuxedo night, and then he like shrugs, but it looks so
He does
stupid.
the Ben Stiller thing.
Yeah, because that's what I thought of when I saw that.
Yeah. But-
Speaking of
Really?
How
Yeah,
I Met Your
go-
Mother,
go,
real
Cam.
quick. Apparently, John Powell also did some music for How I
Wow,
Met Your Mother.
there you go.
So,
Yes,
full
we
circle.
we planned this very well, guys. We knew exactly.
We
what
we
were
had
doing.
a we had a game plan. Totally had a game plan.
Yeah,
and
and
we
we-
went into it, and it's paying off.
It's come full circle. The circle's now complete.
The circle's now complete.
All right.
See
Thanks
what
for
we did there?
listening.
Yeah, yeah, that was a very intentional circle that we made.
I think the first thing that me and Grayson both agreed on, because we saw like the midnight premiere of Rise of Skywalker, Michonne and Grayson did. That's probably not the right
Michonne.
Michonne and Grayson. I wasn't there, but Michonne was with
Michonne.
Grayson. It's when he hits the.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
I hated that, man. I was like,
I like it. Too.
how this dude was just like killing innocent people.
I'm glad
He just
Cam
chopped
got my
some
side.
dude's head off,
He got
literally,
his
and threw it on a
face
table.
cut, like,
Well,
with a lightsaber.
I think the logic behind that was that when you use the dark side, okay, but here I go. I'm just making it work in my head, but I like it.
Preach.
But when you use the dark side, like you suppress like pain or
You
or
use
you
pain.
embrace pain, yeah. And so yeah, exactly. And so like,
I like that.
and then when that was
I like that.
For the listeners, Chip
he
banged
did
on his
the
ribs.
Kylo
like
thing
Kylo
they did
did.
in Force
Oh yeah,
Awakens.
there's no video.
Yeah.
I just kind of did it.
By the way, we're going to do VidCast soon. Once I'm halfway vaccinated, so get your vaccines. That's my political post for the day. But yeah, no. Anyways, we're going to do some VidCast soon, so you can actually see what we're doing. But yeah, and I like it. So yeah, he was like embracing pain, and then once he let go of the dark side, he felt pain, like really like. For the first time since he was on the light side, so it was just kind of different. So I kind of like that, and it's very Han Solo-y. I like the whole scene because he did such a good job of like being like Han Solo's son for the first time.
I just think it's weird because he had never been around Han Solo his entire life. So how do you know?
Well, not
Han
his
Solo?
entire life.
Okay,
I mean,
when he
like,
was 5.
yeah, he was. I don't think. I mean, I guess the whole thing about him going to the dark side was that his Leia and Han were off being,
Also, I guess we don't know how much time he actually spent with his dad while he was with Luke. We don't know
Right.
that. I mean, he
Yeah,
could have spent a lot of time.
I don't
with
think
them,
he was literally like gone forever.
Yeah, because him and Chewie had a relationship.
Yeah. By the way,
and Uncle Lando.
there's a deleted scene from Rise of Skywalker where Kylo tortures quote unquote Chewie, but and that was the Chewbacca actor posted that, which I would love to have seen, but I think they said they cut it because it would have been hard to believe.
It's already hard to believe that he turned
That
over
he-
light that quickly. To me,
I don't know.
That's why it was like really sudden. That was another complaint. But that
Actually-
has nothing to do with Adam Driver or the character. It's the editing. I
Well,
think.
the editing, but I actually highly disagree because I think Anakin's turn is not believable. That was so fast. Well, what I mean,
I disagree.
I'm tainted. I'm tainted by the Clone Wars.
Throughout-
so I saw.
Okay,
his transfer. So
but I'm just talking about movie
movie wise, it was.
But with The Force Awakens and Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, he always had he always had the glimmer of light in him, and he was even in The Force Awakens. He's like, I feel the call to the light, And so like that didn't know. I mean,
I wish they would have played with that more though throughout the trilogy, but I think that's just a result of poor planning and multiple directors
What
and
planning?
rewrites. and,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
No, but even on the bridge scene,
Oh, the bridge music.
the bridge music. Oh,
Yes.
and
That's
that whole scene in the
that's
Force
good.
Awakens, like from the cinematography, where it was while there's Poe literally says, "While there's still light, we have hope," or whatever.
Yeah. And
The
then-
light goes out, and it's.
I love
immediately-
Force Awakens, guys. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway,
No, me too.
But
I do.
but that music, that scene, the music is so good, and that scene is just one of my favorites. And also, my other favorite scene is the Rise of Skywalker one, where they do it on the like the recreation on the bridge. I love both those, and I love that they brought that first full circle. But the music there, I really love. That's one of my favorites from the sequels for sure. So yeah,
we were talking about sequel. We were talking.
Yeah, we were going
to talk about sequel music. I like Rey's theme. It's different. It's
love
it's
Rey's
unlike anything in Star Wars. It's almost more like Harry Potter.
It's kind of like Harry Potter and Home Alone, actually. Now that you will see, because it's got
I want to
the
go back
same-
and listen to the Home
You
Alone
have to.
soundtrack because I didn't know it was John Williams for one thing.
Yeah, definitely listen to it, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. But no, I love that one, and yeah, it's just so good.
To get you lying.
Remember
No
when they
good
played
keister.
the Imperial
I'm humming
March?
them for copyright reasons. That's why, so you can tell exactly what song we're talking about.
I
You're
didn't
doing
know.
a great job.
What I didn't know about Home Alone, that scene where he's watching the movie, it's the gangster movie. That was an original.
fabricated,
It's
yeah.
fabricated. It's not a
Yep.
real movie. I was like blown away by that.
Yeah.
They just like filmed that. They just created that. That's so
They
cool.
did a very,
Cool.
I mean, very good job. Like it seems
You
like
lying?
a 40s movie.
No good keister.
Yeah, off my property.
Off my property.
That was like Peter
Give it
Griffin.
to the count
off
of
my
10.
property.
Oh, lost.
But that was my favorite, one of my favorites, and then the other one from the sequels, the Jedi steps at the end. Is that good for everybody? You know what I'm talking about now.
We're gonna
good
get
for me.
slapped with so many copyrights. Like
That's one of my. Well, that's why I'm humming it poorly. So,
That's why we got Tab to sponsor us.
yeah, for copyright reasons.
anyway, if
They-
you can find Tab, go out and buy them and then send them to me. Chip Holton. Just ask for my address and
yeah, they can put your address up here.
He's in the phone book.
Social security.
yeah.
Number.
My SSN and
Yeah.
what else do y'all want?
That's it. And yeah, so what was the last thing was said?
You were singing a song.
Oh yeah, I was just singing
Jedi
the song.
steps.
Yeah, I love Jedi steps and that whole scene at the end too. So yeah, if I had to pick 3 from the sequels, I'd probably.
I'm
be
trying to
it.
think of what song that is. When does that play?
when she's meeting Luke.
Oh,
Which is
okay,
going
yeah,
up
yeah.
the steps
Uh-huh.
to the Jedi.
Yep, that's a good song.
Yeah, very, very. I loved it. Just very
was good.
emotional. Like actually seeing Luke, like even just for like however long it was, a minute. Like Mark Hamill did such a good job. But he probably could have done like 200 takes, and it would have taken him no time at all, considering that was his whole role in the movie. By the way, I'm glad that this is rambling, guys. Just accept it for this episode because I have so much on my mind. But yeah, so Mark Hamill was confirmed. He did reprise his role in The Mandalorian. That was him. Not doing the action, that was somebody else, but that was him. And I think that's why his CGI looked a little wonky. Because
And I knew it immediately. The hands.
yeah, it looks like because they're
His
kind
hands
of older,
are
but
older hands.
and also like, but I mean, Mark is actually in good shape now. I mean, like there's a while he wasn't.
But he's still
but-
like he's like 66.
no,
I
he's
think.
dad's age. He's almost 70.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's
He looks good.
Yeah, the fact that he was a 7-year-old playing a 30-year-old is kind of mind-boggling. But
He did the voice too.
he did the voice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't go into that in the Mandalorian behind the scenes
They didn't.
because, but that had to have been because of spoilers because they didn't want to let that leak. But man, I just would love to see that and what they did and how they did that. And the voice was definitely Mark Hamill. I think that he was emulating his younger voice, and then they like pitch shifted it and kind of modulated it because you can actually hear a little bit of a modulation on certain
by
words.
trade, to be honest, he is a voice actor. Like by
Yeah,
trade.
exactly.
That's his
Yeah,
main
he's
shtick.
great.
Is he is
What you were just saying, like I was thinking about this the other day. Like I think we're a bit desensitized to seeing Mark Hamill as an actor
Yeah,
because we're so
forget,
used to
yeah.
seeing Star Wars that it's just its own thing. But like if you look at his development from A
Yeah.
New Hope to Empire to Return of the Jedi, those are 3 completely different characters.
hmm
Um,
And then and regardless of how you feel about Luke and Last Jedi, he did amazing. I think that was his best performance, other than Return of the Jedi. But
still a crime they cut the mourning over Han scene, because that is some of the best acting I've seen out of him ever.
That's the silliest decision. It was 17 seconds, and
his face literally told a lifetime of stories.
Hey, but we got Broom Boy.
Yeah, Broom Boy and
wait,
some cow
did he
milking.
mean anything? Did he come back and no, he didn't. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Well,
No, he
I mean, I understand that scene. I just don't like it.
I don't understand it.
It was just saying that there's still hope in the galaxy because Luke saved, like at the end, like he was telling the story of Luke saving the resistance on Crate. I mean, I don't love it, but I get it. I don't.
I think it's just bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I could understand that there's a purpose, but still,
I mean,
doesn't mean it's a good decision.
Yeah, I mean, I
wasn't
like
it
that
post
ending.
credits, or am I wrong?
No, it wasn't
Wasn't
post
it?
credits.
Okay, I can't remember.
No, that was the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
I
post
did.
credits.
Well,
That's the only post credits
awesome.
in Star Wars.
In Star Wars, yeah.
Funny because I didn't watch the whole thing, and then I had to go back and see, because they never do post credits in Star Wars.
And they did like the Avengers style Boba Fett will return.
Yeah, which is coming out in December. Hey, Bad Batch. We can talk about Bad Batch.
Let's talk about Bad Batch. Is there news?
I think. Are we done with the music? I think we
Are we? I
did
mean,
you-
we only talked about like 5 songs. So
Well, any other? What's your favorite from the sequels, if you remember any?
Probably Kylo's theme.
Oh, and Kylo's theme's great,
although I
too.
do love Rey's
Yeah.
as well.
Kylo's theme is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going to see Force Awakens, and the carrier lands,
Mhm.
and that's the first time we hear that theme. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, this guy's gonna be evil.
Yeah, and then he stops that blaster bolt.
That was
Oh
cool,
man,
man.
oh
So
man.
cool.
Shoot, we all just went, oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, the four of us can all agree that we like Force Awakens.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I
Which
remember-
is why I just can't. Like, there's certain decisions I don't like again, but like I can't pretend it's not canon in my head. Like, because everybody can just say, the sequels aren't canon in my head, which is fine. That's your right. Or you can even say the prequels aren't canon in my head or whatever. But man, I love Force Awakens too much to like not accept the sequels.
and
as
we
canon.
can't pretend like we have any creative decision over what's canon and what's
Yeah.
not canon.
Yeah.
That is,
But,
none of you do.
well,
like,
but
I mean,
that's
as
true,
much as
but-
I hate it, I don't really like The Last Jedi. I really don't like The Last Jedi, but I don't really care for Rise of Skywalker. But we can't pretend that we're part of the creative team.
Right. But at the same time, I think you're allowed to like.
Oh yeah,
If
sure.
you don't like it, just say it's not canon
my
in your
favorite,
head. But like
my favorite Star Wars story of all time is Jedi Outcast, and it's canon
Yeah.
in my head, kind of.
Yeah, all the legends aren't canon, and some people just accept that as canon in their head.
Yuuzhan Vong still
Right.
happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mine is Knights
yeah.
of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
1 and 2,
exactly.
So
Yeah,
I'm just glad they did bring back 2 pieces, my favorite pieces of canon.
Revan.
Sort of.
They haven't brought back Revan.
Revan is canon.
So
yeah.
apparently
Is
he
Revan canon?
Yeah, he's
Well-
canon in Rise of Skywalker.
Because in the illustrated, what is it?
The
What is it called?
Rise of Skywalker visual dictionary.
Visual dictionary.
Oh.
They mentioned something. I don't even know what it was.
It was the
I know-
Legion. It was
I
the Sith legions.
The legions have, there was, who was Plagueis?
Revan and
Plagueis'
Tenebrous.
master? Tenebrous. Darth
Yeah.
Tenebrous was Plagueis'
which is
master.
cool. So he's canon now.
Who was- who was-
Plagueis isn't canon.
Speaking of Cantina Band, he was a Bith.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
in
exactly.
the
yeah.
EU, but
Wait. Oh, Plagueis was?
Tenebrous.
No,
Oh, but
His master was a
Oh,
Bith.
okay.
Plagueis was
He was
that
the
intergalactic banking clan.
Yeah.
he was a
Yeah,
moon.
he was a
moon.
banker. He was a teller.
Yeah. The
was his-
banking clan will sign your treaty.
Rush Clovis.
By the way, if this might be a controversial opinion, but if they recanonize Plagueis, I mean, he's canon, but honestly, he's not, because he's just referenced in Revenge of the Sith. So, and we don't know like what the whole story is. Like, technically, they could retcon that and say that was a fake story. But he's going to come back, and I think he's going to come back in the Acolyte. That's my opinion.
I think that's going to be
Cool.
that's a good idea. I think that'll probably happen.
Yeah.
Plagueis,
Yeah, because it's 50 years before Phantom Menace, which fits the timeline with Baby Palpatine as well.
baby, it's just him as a baby. But he's already evil.
That's, yeah.
He's got yellow eyes.
He is so evil.
He's
That was Kung Pao, by the way. That wasn't Dr. Evil.
He was born. He had a very unfortunate crease in his forehead that went away and then came back.
Yeah.
He had a
He had
butt
forehead. Yeah.
Like his master.
So that would be cool to see in the Acolyte. But yeah, I think.
And of course, there's a lot of hype about Old Republic possibly coming back, like with one of the new trilogies, like being
Oh, yeah, it could
being
be.
Old
Or
Republic.
High Republic.
Tycho.
Well, I know the High Republic, which is
that is canon already.
that is canon. I love the High Republic. We had a whole episode about it, and it was, man, that art style is great.
I
I've
think-
been listening to the audiobook
Oh, he
and
did?
enjoying it.
I haven't listened,
finished
so
it,
I'm
yeah.
glad you have
Light of the
we have
Jedi?
somebody on here.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet, and I really need to go pick it up. Is it good?
I'm enjoying it.
Good.
There's a lot of really cool Jedi characters. There's a cool bad guy too, but I don't know how much I should say about it. I don't want to
Go
spoil
ahead.
it.
Is he
Spoiler
one
alert.
of the Nihil?
Yeah, the Nihil. He's like, I guess the leader of the Nihil, and I like him a lot. But they're just not Sith.
Yeah,
but they're
not,
still
but-
cool.
Which
But
is
are they
nice.
dark side at all? Do they use the Force? Is that it? I mean, that's probably not spoiler territory. Are they Force sensitive? Like, or are they just like what me and Sean said, like steampunk bandits, like outlaws? Like that's because that's kind of like what the aesthetic is they look very steampunk to me.
It hasn't been revealed that they're Force sensitive, but my theory is that they're using the dark side of the Force.
Kind of like the Night
to
Sisters,
give
like in a
them
different
an
way, like
advantage.
Yeah.
like a different way.
Do the Nihil have any connection to Darth Nihilus?
Exactly
I know,
what I was
that's
about to
what I
ask.
was
you.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it
Not
could,
that I know of.
but it could also just
It
be
should.
a coincidence because there's a character named Kybo Ren in Star Wars.
Yes, there
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, which
with
Chip didn't know.
droids.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
droid or something.
No, I think it's in droids.
Oh, droids. Yeah.
He's like the bandit leader.
Yeah, something like that, which is weird. Like that's so coincidental.
What a weird thing to.
Kybo Ren.
Oh, that reminds me. Which I'm going to make a million references to KOTOR because that's my favorite Star Wars.
It's like my Jedi outcast.
And
Cool.
right.
Mhm.
Nostalgia.
But I was thinking the other day, like, there's so much inspiration, I think, from Revan to Kylo Ren,
Mhm.
just in appearance. Like, if you look at Kylo Ren,
The
there-
masks.
the Mandalorian mask, the cape,
Oh yeah.
the armor is very similar.
Yeah.
And even the name, like, sounds the same if you say it,
Mm-hmm.
Ren,
Yeah, I think
Revan.
that was. I mean, there was like before
they
the
were-
movie,
they
the
were-
theories that like people. or that-
Yeah, when I
like,
saw Kylo Ren, I was like, that's
the Knights of
That's
Ren.
Revan.
I heard like the Knights of
Cool.
Ren were like a
Revan,
play
yeah.
on Revan.
Yeah, I
like
heard
they
that too.
lost some words, some letters in there or something.
Right.
Like over time, it became Ren. But
Your
that would've been-
Snoke theory sucks.
That's your
what-
Revan theory sucks. We
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
I understand. But still, no. Going back to that, though, yeah, Darth Nihilus, and that's another thing with the Knights of the Republic. Going to maybe you said Taika, maybe Taika's
Yeah.
trilogy.
Well,
I know
they showed-
his thing looks almost like a Mortis.
Right, exactly. Mortis, or there is also the very, very beginning of the Jedi. There's like the Mortis like symbol is also looks like something else that I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but somebody fact check me on the comments. But
Facebook will, don't worry.
yeah, somebody will. Yeah, but yeah, I think so. I think his is going to be Mortis or something like that. But it'd be cool to see the very beginning of the Jedi. I mean, that'd be very different and interesting, and something different besides the story between Episode 3 and 4.
Would it be mostly funny?
But the thing
I mean,
is,
coming from Taika, like
he'll have some humor, but like he directed the Mandalorian season
he did.
1 finale, and that was it had a humorous moment, but it was pretty,
Which is one of the funniest moments in Star Wars to me. Is who was it? It was
it's Jason Sudeikis.
It was Jason Sudeikis and somebody
someone
else.
Yeah. As the
one of the
stormtroopers.
funniest things. I laughed my butt off the entire time.
Yeah.
During that scene, people hated it for some reason too.
Really?
I think
Yeah,
people
people
loved
didn't-
it.
people
I
didn't
kept seeing memes all over the place.
I saw people hate it, like on Reddit.
So like Star Wars fans,
Like
who
Star
just-
Wars
who
fans,
hate
yeah, people
everything anyway.
hate it, and yeah,
No one
God,
hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
That's the truth. No one hates making like a Macon night. Yep.
Yeah, that's where we live, and that's very true.
Speaking of that, did y'all see Freddie Prinze Jr. went on this rant about like how kind of toxic Star Wars?
Yeah, I
fans can
saw
be?
that. He was very fired up.
Yeah, it was kind of ironic. He was like, "Star Wars is for effing kids."
Listen, I follow Kanan Jarrus to the ends of the earth. You know, and he's
Same.
probably my favorite Jedi.
I named my dog
that's
after him.
That's a tough thing.
And
You did, Kanan.
And Kanan
Yeah.
was in Rise of Skywalker too, and that
Oh
was
my
Chip's
God.
favorite moment, probably.
It was because his voice was also the absolute loudest. I
Which
think.
is very odd, but
Yeah.
okay. Well, actually,
Heart of a Jedi.
Luke's was the loudest, but then
Oh yeah. But the old Jedi.
they just got louder and louder.
I love it, man. You had Ahsoka. I mean, you had everybody. That was my favorite scene by far. That's the one.
But
that's
would
the-
have been could have been so much better.
if they actually
They had
included.
visions.
They
of
could have even
Force
put Freddie Prinze like
as Kanan. Yeah,
he would
I
look just
believe
like
it.
him. Like,
Yeah,
I would
that'd be
believe
fine.
that.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an edit where someone put Jar Jar in there?
Probably. And Ki-Adi Mundi. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Yeah, there's some good edits out there of Rise of Skywalker.
What was
but-
it? Count Dooku is a what? What does Kiadi say? It says Count Dooku is a
Oh,
not a
He's
idealist.
He's a political idealist, not a murderer.
that was really good.
Yeah, I like
That was
him.
good.
Count Dooku's a great character though,
He's my
Yeah.
favorite dark side character.
and Christopher Lee does a phenomenal job.
it's
he's-
probably because of Christopher Lee.
He's
to be honest.
nuanced.
probably.
That's our
Yeah.
favorite word in Star Wars.
I don't even
besides subverted expectations.
Yeah, nuanced and subverted.
like I don't think of him as a villain. Like even when I watched it as a kid, you could tell just in his face and his emotions. Like he didn't. Like,
Straight up told Obi-Wan the entire plot. Like
right, like he
was like
his intentions are weird, and you can see when he interacts with Obi-Wan that he's always like a little reluctant because he doesn't want to be fighting Obi-Wan and the Jedi. Like he wants to just like. He's a separatist. He wants to do his own thing. At the same time,
he wants to murder like millions of people. There.
Yeah,
so, like,
but he's not a murderer.
He's not a murderer.
He's a political idealist.
Yeah, I mean the scene when he's with Obi-Wan, when Obi-Wan's captured, you can tell like he's actually disappointed. Like he really felt that Qui-Gon would have like agreed with him.
Yeah.
You feel like he would have joined him, but he absolutely would not have. That's the thing about
he's
Qui-Gon.
not like a just a monster of the week type villain
until
where he just wants to kill for no reason. Yeah,
then he is.
I didn't like how they portrayed him in the Clone Wars.
The yellow eyes
a lot.
He never had yellow eyes in the movies,
No.
but in the Clone Wars, man, he looked evil.
That's one thing I didn't like that they did in the Clone Wars was how they did Dooku.
And
So Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. What's the news? What's the scoop?
Well, it's coming out on May 4th, everybody. So if you don't know, Star Wars Day. I'm excited. I didn't, love the arc, but I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna have.
I think it's gonna be a more interesting climate, like where
exactly.
it is, like right after. It's gonna be the hunt for the Jedi, from what I understand. Right, it's gonna be
probably, and it's gonna have,
I'm sure we get
Quinlan
Cody,
Voss maybe.
I would love Quinlan Voss. Also, if y'all haven't read the adaptation to the Lost Clone Wars arc, The Dark Disciple, that book is one of my favorite canon books. It's so good.
I wonder if
they do Ventress.
Could they retcon that kind of so that Ventress is in the show?
No,
I don't know. I don't know
maybe. I mean, it's a book, so
they retconned the Ahsoka book. A little
they
bit.
They did. But my thinking of that was her recollection was like a little different,
that's true.
being a little far removed. But I hope so because I love Ventress, and she's 10,000% a good guy. Like like by the end, she's a good guy.
That would be great if they did that. That would be awesome. Because that was like everybody wanted that, and that should have been the Clone Wars season 7, in my opinion, the beginning instead of the Ahsoka and
I was going to say not the Bad Batch, but the one we don't talk about. Yeah.
I actually didn't even finish those episodes.
I did, and the only thing they did that was important was her walkabout, I guess is what it's called. Showing her reconnecting with I already forgot her name. Mandalorian lady.
Oh, Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, that was the only thing that they did that was important in those episodes. So they could have filled that in with the Dark Disciple, would have been, or the Boba Fett arc where he, supposedly quote unquote kills Cad Bane.
But he's not. They're going to bring Cad Bane into Mandalorian. I'm pretty sure, or Boba Fett. No, yeah, because he's not dead in canon now, and he's such a.
But he'd be like 90.
Would he? How old is he?
He's old in the Clone Wars. He's at least in this. I don't know how Duros. I don't know how long they live. I don't know their lifespan.
But even if he was 50,
just kidding, Cam. I'm pointing to Cam because he's our fact checker.
The Mandalorian's like 25 years later, so he could still be alive.
I suppose he could. He'd just be an old man. It'd be cool if he was like a mentor character of some sort.
I mean, his voice is already like an old man. Yeah, can you really tell like how old he is?
Also, what accent is that?
I don't know.
I'm like, I think it's supposed to be Italian. I think.
Really?
Yeah, that's what somebody said. I saw that one time. It's supposed to be Italian.
We got our fact checker Cam over here.
See how long.
Looks like he was 51.
Hey, I was right. I said 50.
Nice.
51 in
Clone Wars.
In Clone Wars. I said
Wow.
45. I underestimated it. Yeah, okay.
So yeah,
He would have been what, 77?
and we don't know the lifespan. I guess he could look that up too, but I don't want to make him.
I don't
do
think
all the
that would be.
research.
Also, that wouldn't be canon anymore. I don't think the old lifespans of all the alien characters. I don't think they.
Yeah, and I can't actually even find out what his species is.
Duros.
Duros. That's the just standard alien looking.
The one that looks like.
Yeah,
alien,
exactly.
like that kind of alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so funny that you say that because that's true. Nemoidians are a Duros offshoot.
like
Mhm.
in canon,
they're
in the
like
story.
they're like cousin.
Oh,
They're cousin species, Duros and Nemoidians.
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I like the Nemoidians a lot.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. Well, I like the
Bushido.
design. By the way, Tom Kenny, who voiced SpongeBob, voiced him in the Clone Wars.
Really?
Yep.
Voice 2?
Newt Gunray.
was perfect.
Speaking of music, that's one of my favorite.
What's your
my
favorite
songs.
SpongeBob?
What's your favorite SpongeBob song? Mine's boom, boom, boom.
And also, like, of course, they included Tiny Tim in there too. Living in the sunlight.
They
loving
did,
in the moonlight.
yes. Having
Yeah.
a wonderful time.
Man, what a great show.
Man,
F
SpongeBob's
is
a
for
good show.
friends who do
SpongeBob's
stuff together.
Yeah.
What's this called now? What's this show called now? It's not Grogu Gaga anymore.
I don't know, man.
This is Patrick. of
This is
SpongeBob.
Patrick.
I couldn't find any lifespan.
That's fine.
Quickly enough.
I'm
so
going to
gave
assume
up.
they're humans.
I'm going to assume that they can just do whatever they want.
But, you know, even...
Sorry. I mean, Ahsoka, we don't know how long Togrutas live either, do we?
We don't. I think it's
She's
basically human
400.
lifespan. I think they lived to like 150. That might be pulling that out of my butt.
By the
somewhere,
time Rise of Skywalker is
Gross.
out, she would be like 80, 70, 80?
but- and the only reason I saw that somewhere, but it's kind of believable because you look at her in The Mandalorian, she's what, like 45-ish?
I don't know.
I keep saying 45. That's my favorite number today. So
She was 16 or 17 in season 7.
okay. And so,
So,
so she's
20
40,
years, 36 plus another. Yeah, about 40 something.
about 40 something. But she didn't. I mean, obviously, she didn't look 40.
But
And that
neither-
could just be.
But
Jedi.
Rosario Dawson's like 40 something.
She is, but once again, she looks good. For
Yeah, that's
her
what I'm
age, I guess.
saying. Yeah, exactly.
So does Bo-Katan.
Yeah, she would just look. But
Katie.
but they don't know her age either, so they can. That's Star Wars. They can do
It's
whatever they
fudgy.
want.
You can
Yeah,
fudge
I mean,
whatever. I mean, it's literally
yeah.
a fictional universe.
Yeah, I mean, Palpatine is like 100.
None of this actually matters.
okay, everybody unsubscribe. We're done.
Palpatine is like 120 in Rise of Skywalker.
That's, yeah.
But also, that's a clone body, so
Yeah.
So really, he's like 12.
yeah, he's 12.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, it's a clone body, but of course that wasn't
I don't
explained
remember
in the
this movie at
No,
all.
it wasn't explained in the movie. That was in the book.
It'd be so
Yeah.
funny to like pan over to Palpatine, and he's like literally a 12-year-old. He's doing what Luke was doing with his little like
Oh,
space
yeah.
fighter.
yeah, that's what Luke was doing at the age of 19.
Kylo Ren walks up to him. He's like, "Yep."
Sure.
Did you know my dad?
I've been every voice you've ever heard.
Inside your head. Yeah, that was. I
You said.
yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about the movie again, but
Bringing it back to music just briefly. Just this week, a friend of mine who's also Sean but spelled the wrong way.
That's right.
Told me about a cover of the Star Wars theme in like 80s synthwave style. It's by a band called Scandroid, and it's
Scandroid.
really
That's
fun.
a great name. I'll have to check that out. Scandroid. Shout out. So
Shout out Scandroid.
if you're listening.
Paranoid Scandroid.
Paranoid Scandroid. Yeah, I think
I'll listen to that. That sounds awesome.
I think that would be really cool.
Right
to
up
hear.
my alley.
Rolled up my alley.
Right up my alley.
All right. So what? Well, I did say I want to close on controversial Star Wars opinions. You want to do that? I know this is again, like we said, I warned you, the podcast is going to be all over the place today, but this is the first time we've had 4 people, and we're just enjoying talking about whatever comes in our head. So hopefully you guys.
This is the most I've laughed in a few weeks, so it's good.
It feels good to
we're
see
having fun.
people. Yeah,
In this
we have
time of
fun.
I haven't been around
the blue shadow virus.
like four people like in a room. Other than when I'm playing gigs. By the way, I'm a musician. I know you probably can't tell from my singing today, but so I play gigs, and that's the only time I'm really around more than 1 or 2 people. So yeah, it's been nice hanging out with my bro and my bros. So, but anyways, okay, controversial Star Wars opinions, because I'm just curious at this point. I kind of already said mine, that Rise of Skywalker is more enjoyable than
And you already called me out on mine, so it's fine.
which is Rogue One. That's not very
Rogue One
controversial.
is my absolute favorite. It still is. I
People-
watched it the other night. It was on TNT or something, and I was like, "Yep, this is the best one. Like this is the best one
Do you
because
get-
it puts the war in Star Wars."
Yeah. Do you guys get TNT? That's what Ryan said. I just watched that episode on The Office. TNT, the station. Do you get it? And that was when he was on the Dream Team with Michael Scott and Pam and Vikram.
Oh, I love that plot line.
Yeah.
Vikram.
Yeah, I'm watching that with Paige for the first time.
Who is Nana?
Who is this Nana? What kind of a name is Nana? Sweet Jesus. Yeah, so I think, but Rogue One, I mean, people love Rogue One. People love it so much that I don't.
I mean, we're getting a spin-off show from it, so
I don't get it, but I like Rogue One.
I don't get it.
I mean, I don't get.
I think you have terrible opinions.
I mean,
Damn,
again,
it's-
that's this whole thing. We're gonna hate each other's opinions at this point.
No, I don't hate anybody's opinions. Everybody's got
No,
their own
I don't
opinion.
do. I don't hate your opinion until you say your opinion is wrong.
Until you say The Last Jedi is your favorite. I'm just kidding. I'm
No,
just kidding.
I mean, people.
Kidding.
I respect.
That's actually, it's not my favorite, but I think my unpopular opinion would be that there are some good things there. You can enjoy it if you ignore parts
talking about
of
The
it.
Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
agree.
I've learned to enjoy parts of it.
Yeah.
I have, because I'm tired of being upset with Star Wars, and also
Yeah.
because the people who are hating on it are just not generally. I mean, it's okay to not like a movie, but a lot of times these people just are bandwagon people.
Mhm.
Especially with Rise of Skywalker, because when that came out, I had so many friends who loved it, and then like a couple I know, couple in my mind, but I'm not going to call them out, who just straight up like jumped on the bandwagon of hating it, but they loved it when it came out. So but it's hard to judge people. I mean, maybe they changed their mind. I mean, I also thought I liked The Last Jedi when it came out. Like
those two were just to me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're good, and they
yeah,
complete the story
but
fine.
yeah,
I would say
it's-
like they do complete.
They
the story.
complete
It
the
doesn't-
sequel as well.
It's not the way I would. I think Duel of the Fates would have been more interesting and more fun, like the original
The
Trevorrow.
Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah,
Well, it would have been more interesting. I did not like the second half of the. By the way, hey, we should talk about that sometime. That should be another podcast, because they, Colin Trevorrow had a whole different script, and then he was. I think did he quit or was he fired?
he was fired.
He was fired.
Mhm. I don't know why exactly.
Probably because I think he needed more time because he didn't know what to do with Leia.
Right. Yeah. What they did with Leia was the best they could have done.
I thought it was convincing. Like, if you didn't know that she died, then you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like they worked very well, surprisingly well. Like the scenes with her. But
The CGI, was there any CGI?
No, it wasn't CGI.
It was all reused. I mean, they used CGI for the backdrop and everything.
no,
obviously.
they used a body double, I think, because she had a
They
different.
used her
outfit.
daughter, right?
Well, for the flashback,
Billy Lord, right?
For the flashback,
Oh,
but
oh.
I'm talking about she had a different outfit which didn't exist. So they used the Force Awakens footage, and then they grayed her hair out to match The Last Jedi, which, okay, that didn't make sense, because Last Jedi literally happened right after The Force Awakens, and she went gray overnight.
It was a very stressful night.
I don't
Stressful day.
I don't know. I mean, she lost her husband. You know what I mean? Like, he could have.
Yeah.
That's what they say about Alexander Hamilton. Is when he lost.
Oh,
his-
Hamilton.
When he lost his, I had to plug it somewhere. When he lost his son, man, he aged like 10 years in a few weeks. So it happens
was,
with great stress.
It was force graying.
I mean, like, she was.
the newest force power to be introduced into canon, force graying.
Yeah, that's an
Not to be
unfortunate
confused
side
with
effect.
Gray Jedi, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think we're recording at my parents' house, by the way, my parents' basement. so there's some
Sean
sweet,
lives in his parents' space.
so there's some stuff going on.
doesn't. I'm just kidding.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I did for a while, actually. After
Once the
moved
black
back.
mold happened, you kind of yeah.
Oh, you knew about that?
You told me about that.
Okay, I couldn't remember if I told you about that or not. Oh yeah, because that was the time I was having all these health problems. I thought it was a mold killing me. It's not. It was just.
He did get a little force graying though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
through that time.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So another thing, again, I'm just rambling, so just deal with it. The scene when Leia dies, they didn't understand. It's like, why she just die?
Wait, she does?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Spoiler. When she dies in The Force Awakens, they're like, why'd she just die? Like, but a lot of people didn't realize, and I'm like 99% sure, that she created the Force vision of Han, and that's why she died, because she died like Luke did when he created the vision. And the Force projection, again, that's another thing that you can like or not like and have your own opinions, but that was canon. So he died that way. And so I think it's cool that Leia projected the vision of Han and like gave her all her energy, because Maz Kanata was like, she's going to give the last bit of energy she has. So that makes that scene better too. I think your buddy laughed in the theater when Han showed up because he thought like Han was like actually back or something.
Oh, Brandon was, yeah, because Sean was to the right of me, and then Chip was to the right of Sean, and then my friend Brandon was to the left of me, and he hates Star Wars, but he came to the screening with us, and the whole time he was just like everything I wanted to say, but I was like, I can't bring myself to say it out loud. He was saying it for me.
I don't think that was Brandon that laughed at that. That was a different friend of yours.
It was the one that worked at Amstar with you.
Oh, That was not my friend. That was just someone that worked.
Okay,
at the
that's
same
just
place I
someone
did.
that worked there, guys.
Hey,
But he was like laughing.
I know you
was-
hate Star Wars, but
man.
Grayson is not your friend.
I was so pissed off because I was like so in that scene, and I'm like, oh, you ruined such an emotional scene. Like I love that scene. But anyways, yeah, Han Solo didn't actually come back from the dead.
I did like that there, and that where Luke made a projection of himself. Can you imagine what it would take to do a projection of somebody else?
Han, yeah,
that makes total sense.
I think it's cool. Yeah, and I think people miss that because the execution maybe wasn't.
It was choppy. Once again,
yeah.
just like the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It was
I missed
choppy.
everything in that movie. There was so much. I'll have to go back and
We'll have to
rewatch
watch
it
it
at some
again.
point.
Actually,
Ow!
Paige wants to go rewatch all of them, so maybe you can join.
Maybe.
Watch the sequels.
Maybe.
If I want to subject,
If you're a good boy.
Yeah.
No, it was good though. Once again, going back to the westerns, that
yeah. Oh, by the way,
that
we're just going all over the
that
place.
Luke projection was very last gun in the West.
Oh, and it's
I
also
love that.
very-
That was talking about Last Jedi, like good things about it.
Mhm.
I love that scene, man.
Yeah,
Holy
seriously.
cow! He
Kurosawa.
stood out there like a Kurosawa. It was like very much Clint Eastwood type deal. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of good scenes in that movie, and I think it's the most well shot and like put together. Like it was solid, and just didn't love certain things, and then the Rise of Skywalker, which I actually enjoy a lot, but I have problems with. The editing is just so bad. And I really think that was like a last minute thing. Like they did a lot of changes in post, and I just want an extended cut really bad because I think that would help so much. Like the pace was just too much, and I like fast paced movies. The Force Awakens had the best pacing of any Star Wars movie, in my opinion, because it never gets boring. It's just
because
like,
A New Hope had good pacing. So
well, it's not A New Hope. It had a kind of slow pace at the beginning.
I'm just rubbing you.
No, I know. No, but actually, that's kind of why I don't like it, because my attention span.
I think we're all a little ADHD around here.
Yeah,
I definitely am.
A New Hope was just a little slow, but what's your controversial opinion? Did we get to yours?
I don't know. I mean, I think the fact that we're all here means that most of our opinions are not so controversial.
I don't know.
The most controversial opinions are probably hating or liking the prequels or liking the sequels. But,
Well, no, everybody loves the prequels now. And in 10 years, they'll like the sequels because the kids who grew up with the sequels will.
That's what I sometimes fail to remember is that
If we hadn't
It's-
grown up with the prequels,
it's
we might have
the pequels.
The prequels. They were peak.
I
Star
love the
Wars.
prequels. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
The prequels were the best.
they're my favorite.
Is the best trilogy as far as like cohesiveness.
and lore.
Well, I
building
disagree
and
with that.
World building.
Why?
I think the original trilogy is much more cohesive.
I don't know, because like the prequels all feel like they were directed and written by the same person, because they were. But like the originals, like A New Hope, the pace was way different, the vibe was different. And then you go to Empire Strikes Back and it's different. And then Return of the Jedi is kind of like inconsistent. Like that might be my favorite movie, but it's definitely inconsistent.
I guess from a plot perspective and just a production standpoint overall.
I don't know. I mean, I could see that. We all know what.
I agree that it's definitely a much more similar vibe between.
Yeah, I mean, the
three
special
prequels.
effects were similar. Had the same actors. Like, it seems like everything was planned out pretty well.
But I don't think that's necessarily like a good thing, or that means it's more cohesive. It just means it's the same guy.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah. So I don't know.
I can tell you it was cohesive. The terrible female writing in the prequels. That's the one thing. That might be my controversial opinion. Not really, I guess, but just
well, yeah.
George Lucas cannot write a female.
No,
That's
he
true.
can't.
Not one bit. It's
No.
I'm sitting there every single time I watch Attack of the Clones, I skip through half the movie.
Yeah.
Me too.
Just because I'm like, I want to, but then he talks
I
about
can't deal with the love scenes too much. I have to. Yeah, I'm like
Truly.
you. I usually fast forward.
deeply love you.
Yeah. I don't
Oh
know.
God,
Which is weird because he wrote Empire Strikes Back.
did he?
Yeah. He wrote he wrote the first 6 movies.
But then again, the romance scenes in Empire Strikes Back make up 6 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, but like
there's like
but like
3 or 4 scenes.
I just can't believe that he wrote Han and Leia, and it's just so much more like
Right.
interesting and natural. But
It was a different lens.
Well, the
man.
acting
age. It's the
the
age.
acting was a lot more static in the prequels, just in general. I think.
yeah, but why is that? Like, why did he fail with
knows?
that? And,
Well, because he did everything. I think he was taking on way too much. He wrote it.
Yeah.
He directed it. He was trying to direct these young actors,
Right.
but, like without any help.
Yeah.
Like in the in the originals, he had so much help.
I just remembered a meme which I'm going to share to our Instagram, where Qui-Gon brings Kitster to the Jedi Council. He's like, maybe this guy's the chosen one. It's so funny. Kidster's right.
Speaking of Kitster, his other friend, I think we probably talked about this, Greedo. It's literally Greedo.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally Greedo.
Yeah, well, they deleted that scene.
I remember you telling me that when I was younger. I was like, that's cool. Now when I think back, that's dumb.
silly. Yeah.
What's the, like, why?
What do you mean deleted?
That's like when they
he's
made that character in Iron Man, Spider-Man. They were like, oh, yeah, that's Peter Parker. I was like, that's dumb. Why?
I kind of like that.
could be wrong.
Like that.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Rodian is not Greedo, but there's a different scene that's a different Rodian that is Greedo, the one where he was wrestling Greedo. That I could be wrong. I'm gonna look it up. I think look different. I love. Oh man, didn't they include McClunky in Mandalorian?
They did.
That's so great.
It was
yeah.
The Twi'lek. What's his name? Dang, the Major Domo. Why can't I?
Which one?
His Book of Boba Fett.
He killed Bib Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah.
He said McClunky.
He said McClunky.
I gotta watch that again.
That's so
I
great.
loved what they did with Bib Fortuna, where he's just like
Yeah.
fat now.
He's fat,
That
just
was
like Jabba.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was great.
Well, I didn't know he was alive.
Was he ever on the barge?
He apparently wasn't.
I've never seen him on the barge, and
Which
people
is funny.
kept talking. I was like, I think they would have left him behind.
It
He was
makes
literally
sense.
second in command. Like they would have left him behind to take care of. It wasn't the whole crew on the
Yeah.
barge. Like you can't just fit everybody that was a Jabba's palace on the barge, right?
I mean, I thought for sure he was dead, but it's funny. But then they brought him back and then killed
Well,
him.
how else would you get a McClunky reference?
McClunky?
Yeah.
McClunky.
And that's what I love
Your
about
Ray says it.
about John and
Irish.
Dave. They
McClunky.
John and Dave like
That's actually his name. That's Greedo's last name. He was
Greedo
announcing
McClunky.
himself. He's McClunky.
His surname McClunky.
John and Dave have a love for Star Wars that not a lot of the behind the scenes people have. So there's a behind the scenes thing on the making of Mandalorian season 2, and then they were talking about like how to get a shot or something, and they was like, maybe we'll spin the camera around, and Dave's like, spinning's a good trick.
Yeah, that's so good. I love Dave Filoni. Like
He just loves it.
he just loves Star Wars. He loves it like we do.
Mhm.
Like I could totally see him if he wasn't so famous sitting right here with us and just like doing exactly what we're doing, just making jokes and.
But I would just be in awe. I'd just be like listening to him, just like just let him talk.
Yeah, he'd be
us.
schooling us for sure.
Yeah, I think he's great. I mean, and then you have all these crazy people who think he should be the head of Lucasfilm. I'm like, that's not his job.
Yeah.
His job
Let
is
him direct.
He's the creative, he's the creative guy. That's what he
Right.
does. People don't understand how things work.
Yeah.
Understatement of the year.
yeah, especially apparently the story group.
Yeah. I mean, it's just funny to me. Some of the, and here's the other thing. Speaking of Lucasfilm and the head of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, like her or love her, people hate her for reasons. But here's the thing: they hate her because of the movies they don't like, but they don't love her for the shows and movies they do like.
She does her job
She
spectacularly well.
She was behind every, and I used to not like her because I was like, but I was wrong. I mean, like I
think there's a lot of misunderstanding about what her position,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
what her job actually is.
yeah,
she's not coming up with these stories that people
right.
have opinions about.
But she's
people just want to
guiding.
blame somebody.
Yeah, she's behind.
And she's a woman, so it's easy.
Yeah, she's with the Geeks and Gamers crew.
Oh yeah, man.
She but she did the Mandalorian, Clone Wars season 7, Rogue One, which are like fan favorites,
Mm-hmm.
and then but she also did the sequels, which are not fan favorites for some people. So it's just silly to blame her, or you either got to blame her for all of it, or let her say she did good on all.
She's
of it.
been around Lucasfilm since the beginning,
And
almost.
she was handpicked by
By George.
I think Bob Iger is the one
Bob
who's-
Iger.
was responsible for all the bad decisions because he rushed every single movie.
Well, cha-ching.
I know exactly. He didn't care. He
No,
didn't
he
care.
doesn't. He doesn't. You
I
think
mean-
he's ever seen the Star Wars?
No, I mean
Not one war.
I mean,
Not
J-
one war of the stars.
JJ wanted Force Awakens postponed too, and they're like, he was like, no, this movie's coming out in 2015, no matter what. And then he wanted Rise of Skywalker postponed, and he should have given it to him. And then
Honestly, that was kind of a bad move. They could have,
awful move.
they could have
I would have waited.
Suspended that 2 years. It would have been 2017, which would have been an anniversary of the first movie.
Yeah, there you go.
That would have made more money, I think.
I mean, I would have been really frustrated.
I'm not trying to argue with a guy who is in charge of a multi-billion-dollar company, because I have no business, acumen at all.
But we're just talking about creatively.
That's true.
He didn't care at all.
He didn't.
And so he's the one who should get the blame, in my opinion.
You hear that, Bob Iger?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, he's not at Disney anymore. Somebody else now, I believe. So,
Something that
it's Walt Disney's cryogenically frozen head is back in charge.
something that I've kind of been thinking from watching WandaVision is that like
just be careful.
It's just, I think we all let like our expectations and our hopes dictate like the turnout and like how we feel about something.
Yeah.
But I think we should just try to enjoy making theories and trying to guess what's happening without letting that ruin
that's true.
something if we don't get what we want.
Very true.
Honestly, everything is going to get explained at some point for us, hardcore fans, because we're going to do the supplementary material. We're going to read the books. We're going to do the visual dictionaries.
Yeah.
We're going to get that.
They're going to explain like Palpatine's return and stuff later.
Of course.
That's why I'm kind of just like being patient. I'm like,
patience,
okay, well, patience.
Well,
Patience.
Once again,
that's how Obi-Wan says it very angrily.
I did Ringo again.
Patience.
Patience. Yeah. So I mean, I think it'd be hard to run Lucasfilm and try to please everybody, and then because there are all these fan expectations. Like I expected Luke and the Mandalorian, and I would have been disappointed, even though like there's nothing to I wouldn't say there's nothing to lead me to believe that he would show up, because they said a Jedi was coming, and like he's just a logical choice at that point.
Yeah,
he was. It blew my mind though. Still at the same point,
even knowing it was coming.
What a great decision! Like
When
just to have him, just to have Luke there. Just
I still get chills.
Luke, why not?
I get chills when I think about the X-wing showing up, because I knew right then, and I was just like, I was watching it with my girlfriend, and it was just I was freaking out. Like I was screaming, like so excited.
I think Sean texted me. I was up at like 5 o'clock, and I had just seen it, and we were like, I'm literally in tears right now. Oh my god, it's Luke, it's the X-wing. Like all
hey
of it,
man, don't share your emotions.
No, like
Yeah.
I like.
It's hard to pick a direction for Star Wars, I think, like because I think it means something different to everyone in so many different ways. A lot of people really like the science fiction aspect of it. To me, Star Wars is fantasy.
Yeah,
and
that's what I like about it.
Everyone knows that and realizes that, and an outsider doesn't. But like, there's a lot of people who really love the space battles and really love the long sequence in A New Hope, and I want to kill myself whenever I watch that. I'm like, this.
There's his controversial opinion.
That is a controversial opinion right there.
Hot take, though.
I hate the Death Star trench run.
I actually do. I'm
I like
Grayson.
the last like 2 or 3 minutes of it because something actually happens. But there's just a lot of communication back and forth. Like,
I'm with him. It's my least. It's like anticlimactic climax.
Yeah.
Say that 5 times fast.
Anticlimactic climax. So,
but no. See, and I like a good mix. But there's a reason that I like. My 2 favorite my 3 favorite actually are Star Wars. 1, I didn't mean to fuck y'all off. Sorry. 2 would be Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, all that, and then The Witcher, and they're all fantasy.
They're all fantasy.
They're all fantasy,
cool.
and that's because Star Wars is
fantasy.
It's based off the hero's
definitely,
journey, which is classic fantasy tropes, and it's like if you look at the hero's journey, it's 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Every single plot point matches up with the classic fantasy, genre. King Arthur, same thing. Boom,
And
boom, boom.
just like beloved franchise, The Fast and the Furious, it's about family.
It's about family. It's true though.
Everything copacetic.
I like the whole family aspect. And we talked, by the way, listen to our last podcast. We talked about Rey Skywalker and why I defended it. But you'll have to listen to that and see why. But family is the whole saga is about family, and I think that's really cool. To see.
And that was one of my issues with the sequel trilogy. I think it sort of lost that direction as it went on.
You think so?
It lost its.
Well, once again, we also have a whole other podcast. Was that the one about the adoption and everything?
Yeah. So we'll definitely check that out.
That was one of our more politically.
Palpatine was having babies. Like,
well, he was. That was a clone, by the way. That was also confirmed in the book. His son, quote unquote, was a failed clone.
So Palpatine still had babies because he had a wife. The clone did. So Palpatine had babies.
Yeah, I mean,
he skipped babies.
I'm just
and
kidding.
went to
Well,
grandbabies.
technically,
cloning is where
Palpatine married Max Rebo.
Well, I mean, they could retcon all
Jedi
that
rocks.
if they wanted to. But
Speaking of music, let's wrap this up with music. Jedi rocks, man.
oh yeah,
Whatever he says, like that's such a weird scene to me. And like the CGI, you see his teeth. I don't like that. It makes me so uncomfortable.
what scene are we talking about?
Max Rebo,
Oh yeah.
his band, and then it's Jabba's Palace, right? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's that one singer, whatever his name is.
In the special
I thought you were talking about
editions?
Sice Noodles.
I think no, Snice Noodles was the female.
Yeah, who's the guy? Oh, the little the
Ha!
frog dude.
This is one shot where it's like he's like doing like a
he's like,
yes. Yeah, like, what is that? It was like, is it blues? What is it? No, it's actually jizz.
Man, that song's in the original Battlefront 2 on Xbox and PC.
Is it really?
Yeah, like if you play on Mos Eisley, like most of the time it's some other song, but like occasionally
Yeah, probably
it'll play
Cantina
that
Band.
song. And I'm like, and when I played it, like I was a kid, I was like, I don't even know what this song is.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But so was that one in Force Awakens where they walk into Takodana and Maz's castle?
by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel
What's the one
Miranda.
they play during the Last Jedi Cantina sequence?
I don't even know.
Maybe they weren't playing a song. I actually like that
You mean
scene. Though.
Canto Bite?
You like the Canto Bite scene?
I like just the Cantina portion. Just
Cantina.
What's a casino?
casino. Yeah, excuse
Oh.
me.
What's
Star
a
Wars. I think
cantina?
every.
I mean,
think
it's a
every
cantina,
I think
too,
of
to
every
be
bar in
honest.
Star Wars as a cantina.
Well,
they probably
yeah.
all are. Yeah.
That's another controversial
I
opinion
liked-
for Grace.
I liked
He
the-
likes the
they literally-
Canto Bite sequence.
No, I don't like. let me. I don't like the Canto Bite
You
sequence,
like
but
the-
I like the casino specifically
Yeah, the aesthetic.
inside where all the slot machines are, and I like the aliens that they introduce.
You like all the luck dragons that they have that they ride
Oh,
Oh no, I hated that.
from the Never-Ending Story.
and
Literally, they all look like Falcor.
I didn't like that scene because there were no familiar aliens.
No, not one Twi'lek.
Yeah, the prequels were great because they had old ones and then they did new ones.
Even the one in Force Awakens, like I was like, oh, it's an Ithorian, and then I get corrected on Reddit, like,
No.
not Ithorian.
Oh,
He has a beard.
Oh, it's Tatooine. Nope.
No,
It's Jakku.
It's Jakku. Oh man,
I want to go back to Jakku.
But
Back to Jakku.
hey, it is cool that Starkiller Base is Ilum. So
That
Killer Base is ill, dog.
is Ilum. But then I'm kind of sad because they blew it up.
I know. What happened to all the crystals, man?
Weren't they building another one? Am I misremembering?
Building another
Starkiller base
No.
in Rise
They
of
were building
Skywalker?
another Death
there
Star.
There was a lot going on in that movie. I can't.
No, they were
track of all of it.
no the
was
the
called-
Star Destroyers had like
Oh, they had like
Death
they had
Star.
like 2,000
Yeah,
Star
it was Death Star.
Oh,
it was Death
man.
Star 2002 Electric Boogaloo.
It's like, man, we don't know what we're gonna do to finish off this trilogy. We got to do something crazy.
Go big
What if
or
we had
go
just
home.
like
so we've had
50,000 stars?
we had one Death Star.
yeah, he's like
Wasn't enough. We had two Death Stars.
Here's a great
It was
idea.
bigger.
one Death Star. No, a big Death Star. Nope. 200,000 Death
planet
Stars.
that is a Death Star.
So
a
ridiculous.
planet that's a Death Star. That's just not big enough. It's just not
The
enough.
movie's ridiculous, but it's
A whole
stupid. It's
planet.
stupid, but it's my thing. No, I like it. I like it.
Every planet in the galaxy is a Star Destroyer.
Great.
the power creep is like ridiculous in these movies, but I thought Starkiller Base was actually very threatening.
I like Starkiller Base was
It's
cool, and when they
threatening,
blew
but
up
it's just
the,
like, why?
Why more?
planets,
Why
yeah.
more? Why not have? Well, yeah. Then you got like Darth Nihilus who could just eat planets. So I mean, the older he was doing that kind of stuff
Oh,
too. Like
I know nothing about
Darth
that.
Nihilus.
He
You
literally-
you gotta play those games.
he
Those
just ate
phenomenal.
should just
ate
watch it.
planets. Like here, yum.
I don't understand.
And
It was
Kreia,
obviously with the Force, but like
Kreia is one of my favorite characters in any Star Wars. Like
I know about Kreia.
you can just look up her quotes on YouTube. Like
she was a very
she's a
like a Fable character. Like the
Phenomenal
spells in Fable where she has like just swords like flying around her.
Yeah.
like it's nuts, dude. Like
Kreia Organa.
Kreia Organa. What was her? Treya. It was
Darth
Treya was
Treya,
her. Darth
yeah.
Treya. And then Kreia was
Kreia
Kreia was-
Leia.
spoilers.
Her- yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah, if you've never played KOTOR 2.
Kotar.
Then you got these like wimpy characters and like the Imperial Remnant, like these Force users like Dasan.
Oh, by the way,
Outcast.
yeah, Cam's looking at his watch because he's got to go. But that's okay. I don't want this podcast to go on too long anyway. So
Yeah,
last
yeah,
thing
yeah.
I'm going to do is tell everybody I got a new lightsaber.
Oh, that's such a good sound.
It is the Luke Skywalker. It's not a Force Effects. I don't know who made it, and that's what's sad because I got it off eBay. I was going to buy one from a website called Padawan Outpost, but they were sold out within 1 minute. And so I said, screw it. I'm going to
oh,
go
so
to
it's
eBay.
a new item.
Yeah, it's fairly new, and but I think it might be the
Just
same
in the
one.
market.
It might be the same one that they have. It's very similar. But anyways, it's a Luke Skywalker one, my favorite saber of all time. Return of the Jedi saber, and it's really cool. It's got 16 colors, and it's sponsored. Today's episode is sponsored by the guy on eBay.
that guy on eBay. That's his name, actually.
I got it from China.
Great work.
His name is that guy on eBay. McClunky is his
Beautiful.
last name.
McClunky. Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up, but I had a great time, and hopefully everybody listening could follow along, and if not, well, next week we'll try to be a little more organized. But thank you to Cam for joining us again, and thanks to Grayson for joining us for the first time. We'll try to do some more of that with everybody here. With that said, unless anybody has anything else, we'll just say
It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
SpongeBob was a great show.
yeah, we had so much to talk about. I don't even know what we're going to title this episode, because I was going to say it music, but I'm just going to call it something else. But until next time, may the force be with you.